Hello, Merry Meet. So, I was asked a question on whatever note I thought using magic in a game to win is cheating. And short answer, yeah, it is. You can turn off the video now. But I guess you're here for a long answer. And I would say it depends. Basically, if you look at it directly, yes, using methods that are not within the game's rules to give yourself a benefit that others do not have to win said game is cheating. It's as simple as that. It doesn't really matter if it's magic or if it's loaded dice or whatever it is. You're using methods from without the game to basically make yourself win. That's cheating. Now, of course, do I think this is morally wrong? That depends a lot on the situation. I mean, if you are trying to win a huge jackpot in Vegas that will change the lives of whoever gets that jackpot, you can say that, yeah, it's morally wrong to use that benefit that you have that the others do not have. On the other hand, you can also say that it's a skill that you have worked extremely hard for, and you might as well use it. I think this is a part where it's really up to each and every practitioner. For example, is it okay to use magic to win the lottery? Well, I would say that, yeah, for the most part, I would say that's okay. If you are super, super rich and you are doing this and then you will win this and somebody who might need that money so much more don't, then you can say that then you are getting more towards of what I would call that is morally wrong. But remember, I don't believe in karma. I don't believe that there sits some power that be that says, oh, you were naughty, spank. Whoever believe that you have to look into yourself and see what you think is morally right. I believe that, for example, should I use magic to try to win the lottery? Would it be cheating? Yes. But would it be morally wrong? No, I don't really think so, because, I mean, why not me? There are so many, of course, if I knew that money would go to this poor mother of four that can hardly afford to feed her kids, and then suddenly they can have this brand new start, and I take that away from her, yeah, sure. But it might as well go to somebody who has a system, playing it for sport, has lots of money before, so yeah. I don't really see that as morally wrong, but it's definitely something to think about, because then you do use magic to affect the lives of others. Now, that being said, I do not believe that I do not believe that it's some sort of horrible sin to do things like that. We all do what we can to get ahead. When I'm talking about within games, I'm more thinking about what if you sit and play a game. Is it cheating? Yeah. Is it morally wrong? I mean, how morally wrong can it be to win the game, your family, a board game with your family? But you can say that it's in bad taste. The way I look at it, whether or not I will use magic within a game, is do others use it? Because remember, I do not believe that magic is something that is gifted to the chosen ones and nobody else has it. I believe everybody has magic, it's just that some people don't really know about it. So when everybody else starts to blow on their dice and so on and so forth, I will too. And the fact that I know a little bit about the functions behind why such things, good luck, work, doesn't really make it any more cheating when everybody else is doing it. But if nobody else is blowing on the dice and all of those things, I generally don't do it. I have, but I generally don't do it because then I want basically to win fairly. When it comes to computer games, I have no qualms about using Magick to try to get ahead in a computer game, especially if it's a computer game where it's a single player. I just see that as good practice. But then again, I don't see cheat codes when you're playing a single player game as anything wrong either. So, I guess when it comes to games and luck and such, that's one of the areas where Magick has been used the most. It's how many don't you go around with a lucky rabbit foot or some other item for luck? And really, there isn't really anything difference between focusing, for example, on an outcome while in a game itself and wearing some sort of charm to give you good luck. It's the same thing. So, this gets too far out on the fringes for me to say it's immoral. Here I say that everybody has to decide in the situation they're in, whatever or not it is something they want to do. So, yeah. But, yeah, anything that isn't part of the game's rules that will give a player an edge is cheating. But it very much depends. When I sit around the kitchen table and play Magic the Gathering with my friends, I don't do Magic to... Not basically that I focus my will on it. I talk with my cards, and you can say that hoping and saying, oh, can't I have a land, please, is a form of magic, but I don't don't use techniques and conscious spells to affect the outcome of the game, because, yeah. Do I sometimes, if I get a lottery ticket, pray a little prayer, or do something like that to better my chances of winning? Yeah, I'll do that, and I have no qualms about it. But I think that if you are, for example, Wiccan, and you are very concerned with the extent of where harm none comes, then this is definitely somewhere you will have to sit down and meditate on it and think for yourself. At what point do basically your definition of harming somebody kicks in? Because if you use... No, I'm not talking here about basically playing Monopoly, but what if you're playing the lottery and you use Magic and you win something that would have gotten to somebody else if you had not used that Magic? Is that harming them? For me, who don't really have... I think that the idea of harming none is a very nice ideal. It's an ideal I've had long before I got into Magic, because of basically a children's play that I mentioned before, that where you have a city that has only one rule. It's you shall not harm others, you shall be nice and kind, and other than that you can do what you want. And that's basically the idea that harm none. And yeah, I think that's an ideal, but I also think that if you take that too far, you can't do anything. Because what if I ask somebody for the time, and then they and get 2 seconds too late, and then they get hit by a car, or even more further, they might get 2 seconds too late, so that they don't end up being stopped by a random control by the police, and then that policeman ends up instead stopping somebody else who will harm him, and so on and so forth. You can drive yourself crazy by thinking, how can I not do any harm? How can I not do any harm? So I basically limited to what I directly cause, not all the possible ramifications of my actions. But yes, it's definitely somewhere where I don't think there is a right or wrong. And I mean, you can think that this video is a bit rambly, and it is, because it's a very difficult question to directly ask, because it's very individual. I mean, I think that if you have a game where we're gonna have absolutely no cheating, it's morally wrong to use Magick. But if everybody else starts to blow on their dice and so on and so forth, they are using Magick, then it's okay for me to do so as well. When it comes to the lottery, which is much less personal than sitting and playing a board game with your friends, then I think that, use whatever you have to get ahead. We are animals. Animals use what they got to make it in this jungle we call our world. And but I definitely think this is something that's my opinion on it. But you really have to find your own, because these are things that are not very much. You don't have this is how it should be done. Here this is very flowing. You have to find your own path within this. So to make the reply short again, using Magick within a game, unless it's agreed upon on beforehand and so on, is cheating. Is it morally wrong? Well, that really depends on the situation. So I hope you have enjoyed this video, and if there's any other questions I can try my best to answer, please leave them in the comment section. Have a great day, and blessed be.